All right, welcome back into the news portion of DSI. I'm Jordan Kudish, and we're going to begin in Easton, where a Salisbury man is now behind bars for rape and sexual abuse of a minor. The Talbot County Sheriff's Office and the Caroline County Sheriff's Office, they learned that 48-year-old Jeffrey Lake Scott had been sexually abusing a 15-year-old victim for over a year. You can see him there on your screen. He was charged with second-degree rape, third-degree sex offense, and sexual abuse of a minor. Now, back on July 4th, he was arrested in Easton, and he's currently being held on a $50,000 bond. And in other news, the town of Ocean City wants to hear from you to help with future disaster mitigation. The Ocean City Department of Emergency, they released a survey on the topic. Now, the hopes is that by putting out this survey, they can identify a potential future hazard and plan future projects. Now, you can find the details of that survey online at the city's website or on our website. That's 47abc.com. And it is no secret that inflation has been a major talker as it hits industries across America. But maybe something that didn't come to mind for you is the rising price of childcare. Well, that's the exact situation for the Night Watch Child Care Center in Salisbury. Owner Amy Stewart telling us her facility is now operating under reduced hours and is closed on weekends. She says the price of the grocery list for the meals and snacks have actually doubled. And although they haven't raised their prices yet, it soon may come.
I'm watching kids for free, some of our parents for free, discounted rates. We had a staff member who 6 months trying to get her voucher, so her kids were coming here, and who's footing the bill for that? I am. And it's okay because we're all in this together, and we love our moms, we love our families. We need to have more staff for that. I can't hire more staff until I have more kids. I can't have more kids until I have the staff. I can't have the staff until I have the money. So it's just, I'm in this rock and a hard place of waiting for money to come from the state.
The state funding that Stewart just mentioned is a federal sustainability grant. She applied for that 6 months ago and is still in a pending status. And what profits they do make, it goes to things like replacing cribs and other equipment. And unfortunately, with more parents heading back to work, Stewart says they're faced with challenges of trying to meet parents where they are.
We lost a family of 3 who was coming from Cambridge and dropping her kids off here to turn around and go back to work in Cambridge. She can't afford $5 a gallon in gas. It just didn't make sense. She was spending all her money in gas and childcare. We can't close. I've thought about it in the last few months about closing because it's stressful, but I've got parents that are still calling me saying we need care.
Now, Stewart also says that staffing has been a major challenge, and it's not because there aren't enough people who are willing to work. Well, shifting gears here, it has been a week since the 4th of July weekend ended, and businesses in Rehoboth Beach are reporting some record sales. 47 ABC's Rob Flax spoke with businesses in the beach town and shares their excitement to being back to pre-pandemic business.
Definitely feels like a regular summer again.
Businesses in Rehoboth Beach, like Rehoboth Cycle Shop, say this 4th of July saw the strongest number of sales since 2019, which for them meant more bike rentals and more equipment sales than ever before.
Definitely by far, July 4th was the biggest weekend, both in the shop and just looking out the window and seeing the cars and the traffic sitting standstill and people walking up and down the avenue.
Here in downtown Rehoboth, you can see just how busy the streets and the businesses are with people, but according to the Chamber of Commerce, it's not just the streets that are packed. They actually set a record for the amount of hotel rooms that they booked as well.
In visitation, we're back to pre-pandemic, that's for sure. On the weekends, we've gone from about 67,000 to well over 70,000 this year, occupied rooms.
Chamber President Carol Everhart says those booked rooms are important to the whole town because while a day visitor goes to the beach and spends around $100, that figure shoots up when they spend the night.
An overnight visitor, just one night, at least $200, if not more. So the impact is great. The visitor is what keeps tourism running.
She says with the number of visitors back to normal, it's throwing the hiring and supply shortage in sharper focus.
Supplies and staff are still playing a part in the small business making it.
But businesses say that feeling of summer in Rehoboth is back, giving them the confidence that these issues can be solved too.
You can see the traffic. All the restaurants are open. The people have their not so open containers walking up and down the streets. It looks like summer here in Rehoboth as it hasn't for the past couple of years.
In Rehoboth Beach, Rob Flax, 47 ABC, WMDT.
It's awesome to see that business back in Delaware. And speaking of Delaware, it was a gorgeous day in Seaford. Our meteorologist Ulysses Garcia was out with the Mobile Weather Center and stopped into town. Take a look at this video. He took a video of some of the clouds out there, a beautiful sight. And the water, wow, just looking gorgeous. Wish I was out there. And speaking of this weather, we're going to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Rich Wurdzik for a look at that forecast. Rich?
Ulysses had it today, the best job, I think, in the newsroom. He had the chance to get out and about and say hi to people out in Seaford. This is where the Mobile Weather Center was. He parked it and walked on down to the water there and enjoyed himself. He said it was a little humid out there, and of course it was getting set for the rain to move in, and Ulysses and I were talking about just how much rain we expect for the area. It should be a decent soaker across all of Delmarva when you account in the 24-hour span starting now, and I'm taking you through tomorrow afternoon and evening here. I'll look at our futurecast rainfall, and again, this is a guide here. It doesn't mean these locations will see these exact numbers, but the idea is you just see that on Delmarva we are looking at well over a ½ inch in a lot of spots. A few places will be above an inch as far as total rain is concerned, even 2 inches plus the further south that you live on Delmarva, and that's what we think is going to happen here. Heaviest rain back into central Maryland, western Delmarva, and pushing south, where there will be embedded thunderstorms. We're not worried about severe weather this time, the classic severe weather when you talk about damaging winds, large hail, isolated tornadoes. We are worried about the heavy rain component and the possibility of some isolated flooding. All right, going back to today in the books at Salisbury Airport, 85, just a couple degrees cooler than the average for today. And Chucky and Lewis calling in. It is not 85 in Lewis. I know that he told me it was 79 degrees, so it has cooled off just a little bit. But Chucky, thank you for calling in that temperature here this evening. Our radar picture showing the moment still dry, and this is going right with our forecast. What our thinking was the past couple of days that we were going to get Friday in with completely dry weather. It was just going to be in the early morning hours of Saturday that was headed our way, and we're looking at showers and storms already developing into the D.C. area. Lots of heavy rain expected, and look at the slow-moving nature of these storms here on the satellite radar loop. That's our concern as we go through tomorrow. As the weather set up for this weekend, it's basically a stalled-out boundary right over top of Delmarva. But the second half of the weekend, that'll slide just far enough south that we could get this dry air to move in, cut things off as far as rain is concerned, and give us at least the second half of the weekend with a redo for the beach. Here's 6 a.m., 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, noon into the afternoon. You see the yellows and reds, the very heavy rain, and then more in the way of scattered lighter showers going into the evening, and this all tapers down as we go into the early morning hours of Sunday. It's not going to rain every hour of the day tomorrow, certainly not, but when it's not raining, the sun is likely not to come out. So keeping that in mind for your Saturday forecast, as showers and a few thunderstorms will certainly be around. Beach forecast, again, it's going to be a wet Saturday. The improvements are locked in for Sunday. I'm excited about that as we dry out and drop the humidity too. It should be a decent day outside, especially Sunday afternoon. Warming up Monday and Tuesday, hot and humid with a chance of showers and thunderstorms back in the forecast Wednesday and Thursday. Stick around. We are not done yet. Brandon and Jordan back with a brand new segment on DSI. That's right after this.